Parker Schnabel, a typical teenager from Alaska, stumbled upon the worlds of gold exploration and reality television. Despite his youth, he has excelled in both arenas for an impressive decade. Parker Schnabel's name and career have become almost synonymous with the show Gold Rush. Still, the idea of him leaving is something no one wants to imagine, yet it's a moment he's seriously considered. Indeed, Parker has thought about his future. In fact, Parker has more than a decade into his career and is starting to think about his future career. Parker has hinted that he is beginning to reflect on life beyond Gold Rush. He has joked that maybe he should flip hamburgers instead of launching yet another mining project or television series. While said with humor, the remark underscores a deeper truth: he is no longer sure what comes next. At this stage of his career, Parker is weighing his options. He openly admits he doesn't have a clear plan, maybe more mining, maybe television, maybe something completely new, like farming. The important point is that he is asking the question at all. For a man who has spent much of his adult life following a rigid cycle of work and filming, the possibility of stepping away, even briefly, feels very real. Perhaps the most revealing sign of change is Parker's confession that he desperately wants to take a summer off. After years of grinding through endless seasons, often going straight from the Klondike to projects like Parker's Trail, Schnabel has rarely experienced what most people consider downtime. His off-seasons consisted of unpacking from one trip and preparing for the next, leaving no space for rest, travel, or a personal life. During the COVID-19 slowdown, however, Parker finally got that space. With borders closed and schedules interrupted, he spent time in Mexico with his friend Liam Ferguson, where he discovered kiteboarding. This sport became a revelation for him, part adrenaline, part escape, and all freedom. It took him from Mexico to the Bahamas, where he met a new circle of adventurous friends, far removed from the stresses of the Yukon. That glimpse of freedom seems to have planted a seed. For the first time, Schnabel tasted what life could be like if he wasn't chained to the mine. There's also the human cost. Schnabel has acknowledged that his obsessive work schedule has strained personal relationships. His split with Ashley Yule, whom fans warmly welcomed on the show, was in part due to his inability to prioritize anything over work. Unlike Todd Hoffman, who has shifted focus to family life and new projects after mining, Parker has yet to find that balance. But his recent comments suggest he is beginning to realize that life is about more than ounces of gold. He has even said that the idea of sitting on a beach with a beer sounds incredibly appealing, a simple pleasure that many people take for granted, but one Parker rarely allows himself. For someone who has spent so much of his youth under the pressure of cameras, deadlines, and financial stakes, the allure of stepping back is understandable. Unlike many reality TV personalities, Schnabel did not stumble into fame by accident. From the start, he had a clear goal: to mine as much gold as possible and prove he could handle the responsibility that came with running an operation. He achieved both, pulling millions in gold out of the ground and establishing himself as a central figure in one of Discovery's most popular shows. Yet success came at a price. Parker entered the mining world at a very young age, often finding himself surrounded by much older men who weren't thrilled to take orders from a teenager. He admits that for much of his early career, he was isolated from people his own age, consumed by the need to run his business and meet production demands. That lack of balance may now be catching up with him. Despite his wealth, Parker lives more like a wanderer than a settled millionaire. He sometimes crashes on friends' couches in places like Los Angeles, chasing experiences more than stability. These glimpses into his life suggest that he is searching for something new, something that mining and television may no longer provide. For all his talk of taking time off, Parker is still very much invested in the gold industry. He follows market trends closely and believes gold prices will remain strong. What fascinates him most is the disconnect between gold's rising value and the lagging performance of mining companies on the stock market. In his view, these companies should be thriving, as higher gold prices mean bigger profits for those sitting on large reserves. This insight highlights Parker's dual identity. While he craves adventure and freedom, he is also a shrewd businessman with a deep understanding of his industry. Even if he steps away from television, it is hard to imagine him turning his back on gold entirely. Parker Schnabel has made it clear, for the next 5 years, his future lies at Dominion Creek. While the Gold Rush star has often spoken about what life might look like beyond mining and television, this ambitious Yukon project will keep him fully occupied until the end of its 6-season water license. When filming for season 15 began in the spring, Schnabel and his crew set themselves a bold target: 60,000 ounces of gold in 6 years. That breaks down to 10,000 ounces per season, a goal that reflects both the scale of the Dominion Creek claim and Parker's determination to make the most of it. If Discovery follows this entire journey, the story will stretch all the way through season 20. Even if the cameras stop rolling, however, Parker's commitment won't change. Dominion Creek is a historic claim, one he knows he was fortunate to purchase, and he has no intention of leaving it half-finished. With the water license locked in for only 6 seasons, every year counts, and the pressure to succeed is immense. Fans know how critical these licenses are, just ask Tony Beets, who has faced major setbacks because of them. For Parker, the Dominion Creek project represents more than just ounces of gold. It is the centerpiece of his career right now, the kind of claim that could stand as a crowning achievement. By the time the 6 seasons conclude, Schnabel will be 35 years old, with both the experience of a veteran miner and the freedom to decide what comes next. Whatever the future holds, one thing is certain: Parker Schnabel is locked in at Dominion Creek for the next 5 years, and he's determined to make it one of the most successful chapters of his mining career. Is he really leaving Gold Rush? So where does this leave the question that fans keep asking: is Parker Schnabel leaving Gold Rush? The honest answer is complicated. He has not announced any official departure, and his success as a miner and television figure means he has every reason to stay. Yet his candid reflections make it clear that he is at a crossroads. Whether it's taking a summer off, slowing down his filming schedule, or shifting his focus toward personal happiness, Schnabel seems ready to consider a new chapter. For fans, the idea of Gold Rush without Parker is almost unthinkable. His ambition, determination, and youthful energy have been the heartbeat of the show for more than a decade. But for Parker himself, the future may involve more than just moving dirt in the Yukon. It might mean rediscovering balance, chasing new adventures, or finally allowing himself the personal life he has long sacrificed. Parker Schnabel is not gone from Gold Rush, at least not yet. But he is clearly weighing his options, reflecting on his past, and considering whether the relentless pace of mining and television is sustainable for the next decade of his life. Whether he takes a break, launches a new venture, or doubles down on mining, one thing is certain: Parker Schnabel is not a man who stays still for long. Whatever his next step is, it will be worth watching on or off the screen. As Gold Rush prepares for season 16, Parker Schnabel finds himself in a unique position. One of the most ambitious mining goals of his career is unfolding at Dominion Creek, and the timing couldn't be better. With global gold prices continuing to rise, the young miner may be on the verge of his most profitable seasons yet. When Parker and his crew set up at Dominion Creek, they committed to an extraordinary challenge, mining 60,000 ounces of gold in 6 years. Season 15 marked the beginning of that journey, and as he heads into season 16, Parker has both momentum and opportunity on his side. The backdrop to Parker's mission is the steady climb of gold prices on the global market. Analysts point to economic uncertainty and investor demand as key reasons for the surge, with gold often seen as a safe haven. For miners like Schnabel, the timing couldn't be more favorable. Every ounce pulled from the ground at Dominion Creek is worth more than ever before, raising the stakes and the potential rewards of this ambitious project. Schnabel himself has noted in past interviews that the disconnect between high gold prices and the underperformance of some mining companies puzzles him. To Parker, higher prices should translate almost directly into profits for those with significant reserves. That insight reflects not only his experience as a miner but also his keen eye for the business side of the industry. Heading into season 16, the pressure on Parker is enormous. Fans have watched him grow from a teenager managing older, reluctant workers to one of the most successful figures in the Klondike. Now, with Dominion Creek, the expectations are higher than ever. Can he hit his ambitious targets, keep his operation efficient, and take full advantage of record-high gold prices? For Discovery, the storylines are equally compelling. Should the network continue filming through Dominion Creek's 6-year license, viewers could follow Parker's journey all the way to Gold Rush Season 20. That would make his Dominion Creek saga one of the longest and most significant arcs in the history of the series.